Hi guys, it's Michelle, and today's video is going to be yet another conspiracy theories that I'm too scared to believe. I have not done one of these videos in such a damn long time, which is crazy because there are so many conspiracy theories that I'm terrified of. In general, I'm a pretty scared person, which is ironic because obviously my job is to talk about scary things. But I do get scared pretty easily, and a lot of these theories are ones that just absolutely freak me out. Before we get into it, please subscribe to my weight loss channel and follow my weight loss TikTok if you want to follow me along on my weight loss journey. I would love nothing more than for you to go follow me on there if you want to see what I eat in a day. Just all about weight loss. If you want to look at it, that'd be great. Without further ado, let's get into the theories. So the first two things that I want to talk about are kind of like mystical creatures in a sense. The first one is mermaids. You guys know I do believe in mermaids quite a bit. Mermaids themselves don't really scare me, but a theory that I saw that I thought was kind of freaky is that a lot of shipwrecks are perhaps caused by mermaids or sirens, whatever you want to call it. And I think that this could maybe be true. I think it's an interesting concept because obviously, like, if, you know, it's a smaller boat, just like imagine like a little sailor on a boat and all of a sudden he sees a mermaid and the mermaid is like, oh my god, I gotta protect my identity. So she like just sinks the boat in some way, like whether it's like with her voice, her powers, I don't fucking know, but I do believe in mermaids and I think it's an interesting concept. And I feel like it's been a concept that's been floating around for generations, the concept of sirens and sailors and just like them being able to put sailors under a spell with their voice. I just think it's very interesting because it has to come from somewhere. That's kind of what I'm talking about in general, but the next one is about specifically vampires. The reason that I think that it's interesting is because obviously I feel like the first known concept of a vampire was Dracula. And I had no idea that Dracula was based off of a true person, which maybe you already know this, but I didn't. And this person was Vlad the Impaler. He was a terrible dude who liked to kill people. He ended up taking the name of Vlad II Dracula, and he was born in Transylvania, which is now this mountain region in Romania. He typically would murder his victims by impaling them. He also allegedly liked to dine with the corpses, which is also really concerned with the wording of the statement. Like, does that mean he liked to eat them? Or he liked to dine, like eat other food just in front of them? I'm not sure. I've heard different things, but nonetheless, I've also heard that he used to dip his bread into their blood, which obviously people believe that this could maybe be an inspiration for Dracula. I don't really know how people are still saying maybe. Like, I feel like it is literally Dracula. Like, that's what like, obviously. I think it's not even a question. But the concept of the whole thing that freaks me out, it's not whether or not vampires exist or whether or not mermaids exist. It's the fact that these folklores, these tales that have been told for generations, probably have some truth to them that people know for facts. Like, same with ghosts, I guess, if you want to like get technical. All of these things have something in common, which is that they are told, passed on, hearsay stories, and I'm sure they get twisted over time and that different things get added or taken away from these stories. But nonetheless, these are things that somebody has seen before and reported it and told it on. And I just think that it's kind of dumb to assume that they don't exist in our reality. And I really believe this, especially when it comes to like mythical creatures like Bigfoot, any of these things. I do think they probably exist, which I don't like, and aliens, which we're gonna be talking about later. Honestly, aliens freak me out so much. Honestly, I'm very okay with mermaids existing. Vampires, I wasn't a Twilight girl, so I'm not really like sure. I'm not too keen on it. You say I wasn't a Twilight girl, I did go to Forks. I did. Bigfoot, I don't rock with. I don't like that idea, and I can't even speak about ghosts because it scares me too much. I just think that like how many of these legends that we've heard time and time again are actually somewhat true or have truth to them. Because obviously this Vlad character wasn't, you know, a vampire, but he did drink the blood of humans. So is that only where it spawns from? Or was there more facts surrounding it? I just find this to be such an interesting concept, but I don't like to think too hard about it because it does scare me. Also, apparently Prince Charles is a direct descendant of this Vlad character. So now people have the conspiracy theory that Prince Charles is a vampire. which I like that theory. All right, the next theory that we're gonna be talking about has to do with the killer clowns of 2016. As you'll remember, which I do feel as though we kind of just brushed past a little too quickly, there were these clowns all around in 2016 that were killing people. I remember being actually so scared every single night because like my house at home where I lived in 2016, it's all glass, and my parents would go to sleep way before I did because I was a freaking teenager and I was staying up all night. I remember being so scared that I was gonna turn off the lights like in the kitchen to go to bed and like turn them off, and all of a sudden see a clown just standing like by the pool, because you can only really see out of windows like when it's dark outside, you know what I mean? And then it's dark inside, like you can't see with the lights on. And it literally would freak me out to the point where I had a game plan of what I was going to do if this happened. Like I literally was like, okay, if I turn the lights off right now and there's a clown there, I'm just gonna act like I do not see it and like call 911 and like call my parents, whatever. Like the way I had a game plan for these killer clowns. Anyway, it was terrifying. It was really scary. I read a conspiracy theory that really freaked me out, and that maybe these killer clowns was a promotion for the movie It, like the newer version of the movie It, that went horribly wrong. So I actually think this is a pretty interesting theory because obviously in theory, people seeing clowns everywhere that weren't killing people, like just like creepy clowns, would be a good promotion to see It, because then everyone's freaking out. They all want to go see this movie. I just feel like that makes sense. Like that whole concept makes sense as a promotional stunt. Like it makes perfect sense to me that they would want people to be seeing these creepy ass clowns everywhere, because I just feel like it's gonna make the whole experience different and gonna get people creeped out and excited for this movie. It's basically the theory that this was a promotion for the movie It that went terribly wrong because it got into the wrong hands and people ended up wanting to do this in a serial killer way, which is really not good and very scary. So I think that this theory really freaks me out because I feel like it kind of makes sense. Like obviously I don't think that the people of the movie It or anything like had the intention of having these like killer clowns, but either the movie inspired this to happen or it was kind of a promotional stunt to have all of these clowns around not killing people, but like then people took idea from that happening and wanted to do bad things. So really freaked out by that, and I do not miss that time. 2016 was really scary because I feel like clowns are generally creepy. Me thinking of like, oh, I have to leave this house and I'm like house sitting and rat sitting, and if I freaking see a clown, I'm gonna cry. I saw a fucking clown though, bitch. I was ready, I was prepared, but I was terrified, and I still am. Like, why did that happen? And why did we all just forget about it? The next theory that truly freaks me out is the Men in Black theory. If you guys don't know, the Men in Black is not just a movie. It is essentially these mysterious figures and slash people who have very pale features, like including the contours of their faces are so pale, like they almost look like they have no face. And they're in black suits with black hats. And the legend basically goes that these men show up after UFO sightings or alien abductions to kind of warn people who are being abducted or saw a UFO that they can't spread any information, just asking them very invasive questions about the situation. The Men in Black have been dated back to the 1940s, which is so crazy. So a man named Harold Dahl saw 6 UFO-shaped things hovering in the sky. Apparently, one of them fell out of the sky and like the debris from it hit his child, who was fine, but also killed their family dog. And when he went to tell his supervisor about this event, they were like, no way. And they went and ended up seeing these UFO as well. So Harold ended up taking pictures of the UFO on his camera when this happened to him, because he was like, what the fuck is that in the sky? The next morning, Harold was approached by a man in a black suit with pale features at a local diner. And the man basically was able to recount everything that Harold had seen the day before. He essentially told Harold not to speak of this whatsoever, or bad things would happen. I hate that. I literally hate that. Imagine being abducted by aliens, first of all. Scary concept. Or seeing a UFO. And then all of a sudden, like some governmental man in black with like basically no facial features comes up to you and is like, hey, if you tell people this, you're screwed, I would lose my mind. But I do believe that this is possibly true, because why are there so many counts for it? Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those things. It's kind of like the mermaids, kind of like the vampires. It's like, why are there so many people saying that this happened? There has to be some truth to it. Anyway, the next conspiracy theory is on a much simpler note. It is about American food. I think that American food is poison. I mean, I don't know if I actually believe that it's poison, because I think it would spiral too much if I genuinely believed everything we ate was. But I have talked about the concept that like our food is so much more calorically dense than other countries' food, which is so true and ridiculous and very annoying. Like, I will watch people's what I eat in a day. They're from like the UK or something, and they will be able to eat so much more food that is like more normal, like without eating just like straight up lettuce all the time, and be able to still be in the calorie deficit. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, the calories here and stuff is just crazy. My friend Kira, she is from the UK, and she always tells me, like, whenever I feel like this has happened multiple times where we've come across something in the States that she's like, oh, this is banned in the UK. Like, a lot of things in our food is straight up banned in other countries. Like, that's crazy. I just find this to be a very interesting theory. Like, is America giving us bad food on purpose? Is our government doing this for, like, what's going on? Like, something's going on. I just think it's really scary, and I actually can't think about it any longer because it freaks me out. Like, I'm convinced if I went to another country to do my weight loss journey, I would lose the weight in like half the time. But let me know what you guys think about that. And the last theory that I want to talk about that freaks me out too much to even believe is the Montauk project / true story behind Stranger Things. I've done this video a long time ago about the Montauk project, and there's this essential idea that people in the government have taken children. It's basically the plot of Stranger Things. Taken children who have these telekinesis powers, mind control powers, and kind of studied them and forced them into these laboratories to do tests on them. I think it's true. Like, I really do believe this happened. I mean, it kind of did, like, actually happen. And it's really freaking scary. It is something I can't even think too hard about because it freaks me out so much. It's just crazy to me, and it makes me think of what's going on in the world right now in general. It just is so crazy because who knows how many people there could be with like powers like Eleven has in Stranger Things, but they're just taken by the government and never to be seen again because they're being researched, and I hate it. It freaks me out. Anyway, that is it for today's video. If you guys liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about these conspiracy theories. I would love to know if you have any conspiracy theories that you are too terrified to believe. Please let me know in the comments below. But that is it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram because I'm always posting really dope ass shit on there. Subscribe for new videos every week, and I will see you guys later. Bye.